What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, a.k.a. Talk About Gay Sex Podcast, celebrating 5 years, episode 402. I'm your host, Stevie, alongside Lincoln.
It's been so long. Hello. How are you?
It's been so long.
It has. It's been way too long.
Of course, joining us as well, fresh out of class, in Lincoln's class, we'll talk about it in a second, is Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm feeling like a throat goat because you know why.
Yes. We had so much fun just sweating to Madonna, to Kim Petras.
Yep, it was
That's
a Madonna,
in
Kim
Lincoln's
Petras
class. And, we got a shout out to a listener who came up to us in class, Johnny. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Johnny. Thank you so much for listening to Tag's podcast and saying you love our show.
Hi, Johnny.
And he is a great member. He gave me a book of poetry about happiness, and he's taken my classes a lot at Temple. He's a good guy. So.
Oh, nice. Love that. Well, we had such a great time. We got to get into it. We've missed you, Lincoln. You've been away
I missed you guys too. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I haven't been around. And last week I forgot my laptop, so I couldn't do it.
That's right.
That was annoying.
Was like, why didn't we see you for a
Well,
minute?
you know
That's
what
why.
happened? I got a new desktop at the bakery, and I'm coming into 2023 hot. Like, I'm getting all new devices. Mm-hmm. I'm upgrading everything. So I brought my old laptop to the bakery to get my new laptop to look like my old laptop, and I left it there.
Ugh.
That was so. And I ran home from class. It was like I just have to take a quick. Shit! I left the laptop at home. I don't need to take a shower.
We told
I need to call
the listeners,
Steve.
and they
So
forgave
sorry.
you,
I hope so.
and they're glad
I will try
you're
and
back.
be triple as entertaining
All right.
on this one.
Well, the first three stories are just news that we want to just get round out. You may have heard Rhianna is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show, and I didn't know that she was singing anymore, but...
What? Don't. That's blasphemy.
No, a lot of people... No.
When did she release her last album?
Thank you very
It
much.
was a very long time ago, but I always hold out hope. Don't do that, okay?
Well, a lot of people have been... True Rhianna fans have been wanting new music from her, and she's seemingly too busy with new children.
Yes.
With her line of fashion.
She got businesses, honey.
She doesn't seem like she ever needs to. But I think it's kind of brilliant. If you're going to come back, why do an album that seems so yesterday? Do the Super Bowl. Are you here for Rhianna? I'm not the biggest fan, but I will watch it.
Oh,
Right. I would not.
more blasphemy?
Yes. But I'm here for Kim Petras.
I mean, at least you got that right, girl.
Rihanna is fine, and it'll be lovely to see her greatest hits.
Yeah.
I'm not a Rihanna follower.
Okay,
And I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult anyone out
You're
there who's a
not?
diehard.
I want to hear work.
Rihanna
I want to hear
person.
work.
She did a really beautiful.
What do you mean?
Work.
Oh, you want to hear the
And
song
Umbrella,
word. You
Yeah.
want to hear more? I
Ella,
thought you
isn't
meant
she
you wanna
the
hear more.
umbrella?
Umbrella.
Yeah.
But I love work.
Yes.
That's going to be my...
I love all the everything. I love work. I love rude boy. I love
Oh my
S&M?
God, no, that's why.
S&M.
Oh, S&M. I love
One
S&M.
Song. She sings that damn girl song, doesn't she?
only girl in the world.
Oh,
it's
my God.
so
Yeah.
good.
I have personal problems with that song, so I'm going to retract myself. From the
Okay, all right.
Do you have personal problems?
with that song.
With that song.
Yeah, I had a very close friend of mine kind of go crazy over that song and would not stop playing it ever. And it's still the most played song on like one of my devices because he played it on it so long. Yeah.
Okay,
And,
all right.
and when that song comes
I
on,
can
I
see it.
literally
We're not about
run
to
out
do
of the room.
another selfie check.
So when she
right?
when she
People
does
commented on that too.
on the
Yes,
selfie count,
they
wasn't
did.
that a good one?
It was a good one,
It
but
was
you're
a
not
good
about
one.
to check what song's the most played, are you?
No,
Okay,
no,
got it.
I won't do
We
that
don't have time
anymore.
for that.
But good that Rihanna. No, but she does a good show. She did some big Vogue thing number. She did a Vogue rendition that was really stunning. Have you ever seen that?
All back to Madonna.
An
Yeah.
homage to Madonna.
No, she just did Vogue, just the song, but it's a really good performance. It's always she like reinvents it for herself. So I think she'll do a fantastic Super Bowl after seeing what she did with Vogue.
I think you're
That'll be
right.
great.
I'm here for it. I know you guys are here for
Oh,
it. Joe's also
100%.
in the house.
Say hi,
Cody's
baby.
Oh, that's right. We have a lot of guests.
as well
Peter's
as
here.
Pita as well.
Say hi, Peter.
fiance. Okay. Also, Queer as Folk has been canceled. I don't know if you guys watched it. It's the third rendition reboot of the show. And I didn't watch it because I don't have, what's the Peacock. I was going to watch it. I heard mixed reviews on it. It has John Sibley, who you, Kodi, and I are big fans of. Didn't make the cut. But I would say that other than the British version, I did like the American version. But this one didn't cut it after all. Are you surprised? Do you care? Do we care?
I thought so. We had to take a break after watching each episode because it was so gut-wrenching. So it basically like it was so traumatizing to watch.
Well, tell us why, because we talked about this offline.
Yeah, because it is about the Pulse shooting. It's related to that.
It picks up after.
It's after that, but it's about another shooting in a gay club, and it's about how their lives are so different after that. So watching that,
heavy.
It's so heavy, and it's so it weighs so much on your soul. And I just could not watch 2 episodes back to back. I really wanted to, and I really wanted to get into it and support Johnny Sibley, who I love and adore, and support the show, which I love and adore, which I watched before, of course, the American and the UK version. But it was so hard to watch, unfortunately. So I'm not surprised.
It was a choice to make, to do. I think it's great to continue to talk about Pulse, although they labeled a different name of it.
Yeah.
They didn't say Pulse shooting.
It was Babylon again.
But to not forget, I think it's good that they did do that in many ways, but you're saying it was maybe too heavy for a new show with only 8 episodes to go that route? Is that?
I believe so. I think that maybe if they dedicated 1 or 2 episodes to it, or if they had it happen at the end of the season and then came back 6 months later and they were all dealing with it, and then that could have been a different story, and you could have seen a lot more joy. But it was just so heavy to watch.
Well, I'm watching Dahmer. I just finished it on Netflix, and
talk
about heavy. Well, but I watched it in a week. I watched it in 3 days.
I'm gonna be typical me, I guess. In this, I am a bad gay. I am a bad gay.
But you're going to Bros. We already talked to you. You bought your tickets to
what?
Bros.
I love myself, and it's okay. In this genre, and to anyone out there who's like me, I hope there's more than just me, missed the boat completely of...
Queer
as
Folk?
Party of 5?
Queer as Folk.
Oh, my.
I love Party of 5. I love
Listen,
Party of 5.
Give me that gay card.
Drag Race. Never seen a full episode.
Oh, my God. I'm leaving. I got to go.
I'm
walking out the door.
Dahmer now coming out. So between this and drag, I don't understand that part of our community, and I am a big gay in our community, but it's not my community.
But you say and you said you bought tickets to Bros.
To who? Oh yeah, and I have to.
So
yeah,
you are
I'm excited,
supporting,
and I bought it. Bros will be the
and you just
first
saw Wicked
movie.
for the 900th time.
Yes. But don't get me off of my point. My point is seeing the gay experience through things that are so dark, like Dahmer right now, which really bothers me. That
it's history, though.
I'm not denying history. That's why I have a ticket to Bros, and I'm not watching Dahmer. I watched Silence of the Lambs. I had people in my family think that that's what being gay was for a very long time.
Wow.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And now we're in TikTok, Instagram world where people think gay as being very different than just love one another as men, as women,
but then
as
bring
people.
It back to what we were just talking about. What
so
about Queer as
I'm out
Folk,
of it.
though? What about Queer as Folk?
I
Because
never watched it. I missed the boat
gay...
completely. That's the thing. I miss Queer as Folk. I'm a Torch Song Trilogy, Jeffrey, Looking, Will and Grace.
I love Looking.
Gay.
Yeah.
Like
Uncoupled.
I just have longtime companion. I could keep going with this, but I think I should.
Okay.
That kind of. I just had like the Drag Race thing. The Drag Race is bringing tons of gays into a bar to all watch a show together. I did that with the Golden Girls. Wait. On Saturday night at the Midnight Sun in the Castro. I'm just of a different generation, and that's okay.
Yeah,
I love being
totally
53. Trying to be 40 or 30 is stupid. I would look dumb trying to do it. I don't want to do it.
He who just told us more about Kim Petras than Kodi and I didn't know.
Exactly.
Can we say she's trans?
We saw Kim Petras at the Pier Dance this year. She performed, and I had never really gotten into her, and Peter played her album. What's the album called? The Sex Pot... Slut Pop album.
Yes. Slut Pop.
And
Slut
I
Pop.
thought he was absolutely insane.
She.
Peter for bringing that
yes.
music into the house. I'm like, I'm so never going to listen to this.
Uh-huh.
The earworms in her music, she is like Brittany, I promise.
Right.
Brittany meets Paris Hilton meets Fabulousness, and then after Lil Kylie.
So that's
So
why we
good.
give your gay card back to you.
Thank you for giving it. I just
because
That and Wicked.
You
Yeah.
taught
But
us something we didn't know.
You on probation though.
Yes. Did
I'm
you say this?
biasing you.
I just saw Wicked for the 48th time, and I just have to tell everyone, 48 for me. First time I saw Black Glinda, she nails it, makes it completely her own. And the woman that they cast as Elphaba is like Anne Hathaway meets Jerry Lewis. She's like this dorky, long, weird nerd, and she blows out of the park.
She can sing
cried
her face off.
my
Wow.
eyes out, but her choices are so good. And I went on her Instagram. She's like fucking 28 years old, and she's like, I will not take one performance of Wicked for granted. So I love her too.
Yeah, we love.
And
We
I
love
don't know
both
her
of them.
name. I should say her name. Anyway, sorry,
I love it.
tangent.
No, not at all.
Hey, I haven't been here for a long time, so
Right.
give me a moment to get in the swing of it.
We'll move on from Rose because we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But we have to ask you, Lincoln, did you hear about the story of Erick Adame, meteorologist who was fired from New York One recently for getting on a chatterbait in his private home? Did you hear this story?
No.
Okay.
So-
I watch this weatherman every morning when I'm in bed and I'm listening to my weather report, and here's how I get it. And I was like, where is he? It's been the news round. We talked about it, Kodi,
Yes,
you
we
and
did.
I.
Yes, and he was on a streaming platform. It was like a virtual circle jerk, basically, and on LPSG, and he was on there and he was masturbating. He said his name and the company that he worked for several times. And he said that he wanted his boss to come and fuck him, basically. I can curse. I'm cursing now, okay? The gates are open. I'm cursing.
He did this on a public
On a platform. There are rules and regulations that say that you're not supposed to screen grab or record anything in the circle jerk, but somebody didn't follow those rules and regulations, and they recorded it, and they sent it to his mother, and they sent it to his boss. Can you believe it?
So
Yes.
we talked about this on the show the other day, and the thing is, there's been a video that came out with simply the audio of when he was doing this video.
Cam show.
Cam show, thank you.
Yes.
And he says a lot of things that are just like you would be, come fuck me, I want to be slutted out today, guys. And he shouts out to different people. The controversy, I think, comes when is when he says, I want my boss to fuck me. And one of the guys that's watching him, and then this is the audio, because we listen to the audio, says,
It's
right
wild.
on your chest right now that you are Erick Adame, New York One, and he wrote it in Sharpie on his chest.
Yep.
He is now suing the company LPSG and trying to find the actual person that did this, because they also sent it to his mother too. So we talked about this on the show the other day. I think the new thing, because a lot of people have been supporting him, I wrote to him and said, good for being sex positive and for being yourself. But I think with this new information,
that was your take on this?
well, that's what he had said, that he's being sex positive and he does not apologize also for being gay.
This
He
has
was in his
nothing
own
to do
home.
with being gay, but
The thing is, though, with this new information, I think that is kind of grounds to be fired.
It paints it in a more fireable offense light for me, because I think that I said this on the show on Wednesday, when you bring your boss into it and you actually verbally, and but he didn't, from what I can tell in the audio, he didn't name his boss. I thought he named the boss, but
he named another meteorologist, though, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah, in the audio. He names another meteorologist.
This boy needs some help.
He says he needs some help.
He needs some help.
He says, he's trying to get some help.
Off his rocker.
Right. So
We all know gays like this that just go a little too far
right.
down the rabbit hole.
And I guess
whatever rabbit hole it is.
So I guess there's a current article that I'll post on Advocate that says who's of our generation, Lincoln, and probably yours too.
Yeah.
That he says, I would have fired Adame probably because I worked in corporate America for over 3 decades. He was a public figure, no fault of his own, and the minute he mentioned his place of employment while naked and masturbating, he went too far. Was it illegal for his digital escapades to be shared? Would it be illegal of me to fire him because he wasn't broadcasting his peep show from the office? And what constitutes an office these days when many work from home? Because he is a public figure representing the station, is he always on duty? And he also brings up in this article that with Gen Zers that don't care about authority figures as much at all, will we in 5 or 10 years, will this be an issue? And I bring that up to you guys. Do you think that, I was talking to you a minute ago about, can you play the current Kim Petras album in class? And you said absolutely not, because of some of the slutty things that she is saying in that album. Will this be a big deal 5 or 10 years as we've seen transitions and different generations move and Gen Zers not care about this kind of thing? Will it be a big issue? Will we care about this stuff 5 or 10 years from now?
We have to. We have to care about this stuff. It's not appropriate.
But then who's deciding who's appropriate, I guess is the point.
No, it's not appropriate. I was the director of David Barton Gym for 20 years. The moment I got that job, I'm not going in that steam room. And if I do, I'm certainly not shouting out someone's fucking name in the middle of it.
Or your boss's name.
I have gone to play parties and seen celebrities and seen newscasters or whatever at certain things. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. So you don't.
Decorum.
And you have decorum. You're an adult. And I'm sorry, there's not enough adults in our country. Gay, straight, anything. No one's being a fucking adult. Everyone is pants down, hair on fire right now. And I don't understand. I get the post-Trump. I get the post-COVID. I get we're all trying to live our best life. If I hear that fucking phrase one more time, my head's going to explode. Your best life should not put down other people.
Yeah.
Period. You do not get front of the line. You are also a person. So calm down.
I think we agreed, Kodi, you and I, that he crossed a line, that he should be free to be able to do what he wants. He should be able to go on Grindr, even do a cam show. It's when he mixed his work.
Yeah, I agree.
What is that?
That's what I said too. I think that when he brought his boss's name into it, and when he said his place of business, even though people may have recognized him, like you said, you saw celebrities out before at parties and things of that nature. But there were no
cameras then.
Well.
So this is a new day that we all need to be responsible for.
Yeah.
Back in my day, which is great because Peter and I have now been together. We're going to be 4 years since our first date in December. Very excited.
Congratulations.
And
congratulations.
That world, I'm very happy that I grew out of it at the same time that I met an incredible person. And now we have grown-up things to do. And if you're in those situations, you still need to be a grown-up and know that people could videotape you. Like, I couldn't imagine hooking up with someone right now in their apartment. I can't even imagine someone going into someone else's apartment and knowing if there's a camera somewhere.
It's very stressful.
That would be you know what I mean? Like, it makes
that would bother me. Well, I just watched this whole thing. Look at the careers of Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. Their careers were based on what? A sex tape. They are multi-million-dollar people these days because of a sex tape. So it can work in your favor if you know how to use it.
Well,
and then work for them.
Per capita, it's not going to work. Forgiveness is always an option.
Absolutely.
He could turn around and be on CNN with the whack-off guy any day now. So it's fine. Like, he could come back and get a new job.
Richard Quest and Jeremy and Jeffrey Toobin. Yeah. All right.
They should never be on a Zoom call together. It's going to get really weird.
I did get my second monkeypox vaccination.
Yay.
And I am officially 2 weeks out, according to the CDC, of being completely...
Of your second vaccination.
Of my second vaccination,
You are
Lincoln.
properly vaccinated.
I'm properly
That's very
vaccinated.
nice to hear.
I was
really carry that damn stick.
Exactly.
I'm actually jealous.
I have a little bump on my... Because I was talking to Peter earlier on the subcutaneous form that you get and just leaves a little bump, but I don't care. It is what it is. And
it's a rite of passage.
You know, we're not talking about monkeypox, though, these days that much anymore. I think numbers are down. You're talking about going on a cruise. So am I. Are we moving on from this? Do you still know people that are getting infected?
I think we finally got there. To be quite blunt, like, come on. It was a controllable pandemic that we can get control of if everyone just had patience.
So we should cheers
and the government will never work fast enough for anybody. Come on.
True.
Yeah. You don't know. Joe says he doesn't know a single person. Yeah.
You're just not popular.
Real quick, I just want to talk about something that when I was walking back from your class a few weeks ago, we had a conversation. You gave me a great tour of Temple Fitness here in New York City in the West Village, and it's fabulous, and it's one of those premier gyms that you would just want to work out at. There's disco balls, and it's just really fabulous. One of the things that you and I talked about there was it's not what gym culture isn't what it used to be. In other words, we all know, and people have been on their headsets for decades now.
Since the disc man.
So the thing is, we were talking about gym culture today and how you weren't as interested today in working, even though you gave me this beautiful tour, because people don't interact as much. The difference I would note and agree with you is not only are people listening to their music, but they're also in between sets buried in their Instagram.
Phone.
I can't tell you, even in my little... I was going to say rinky-dink. It's a nice gym, but it's a gym here, and I love that word, rinky-dink. But it's in my gym, in my building, buried in their phone. I don't know what they're looking at because I don't have that many emails, or it's probably Instagram or social media.
Motivation from Instagram.
My college buddy who's my age is addicted to TikTok. He said he spends he's exactly my age and is addicted to TikTok, and he just goes through it. I don't have... What was your point, I guess? Right.
And at that gym, I could listen to my own music, but still talk to people and chat with people.
A balance.
A balance at that gym. Now it seems when I go to the gym, everyone's listening to their own. Do you remember the days where there was good music playing in the gym?
Yes.
And no one wanted to listen to their own music. And we have DJs at Temple, and when they DJ, people don't listen to their devices as much, which is like returning to that gym culture, which I love. I still don't think people are really talking to each other, but I don't know. I talk to everyone, and they look at me like I'm a weirdo. It's fine. But I remember when you used to share a machine and actually maybe strike a conversation and not be sucked into your phone or people ignore each other right now. And I'm hoping it's going to break.
When I go to the gym, I go to work out. I'm very focused. I tune every single person out unless I go with my boyfriend and then he gets on my nerves while telling me what to do. But I really go to just work out and work out some frustration. It's very soothing to me. I get my mind in order. I get my body in order. And it's just a very solitary experience for me. My boyfriend just actually whispered in my ear that the gym that we go to is in Brooklyn. I forgot where I live for 2 seconds. They're actually young people that are actually going to the gym together in groups. It's so annoying, though.
How many define a group?
5, 6 people.
Yes.
Going to the gym together?
To 5 people. They're talking. They're interacting with one another. It's good in that respect of that people are interacting at the gym, but they use up the machine for way too long.
No, I don't like...
Not Temple, that's why.
That's an interesting comment about human nature, though. That's interesting that that's happening. I like that that's
Is this
happening.
like a Gen Zer thing that you're seeing?
It is.
Noticing that's
They're
happening?
they're high school age.
If you find the gym so solitary, you must hate class.
I like being there with you. You yell at me. I love it.
He gets his
But
fetish
it's not your
groove on.
usual gym experience.
It's not. But I'm still find it very solid. It's just me and you at that point. I ignore everybody else.
Right.
You know, we have to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Middle East. And one of the reasons starts with Bros that is opening up September 30th, which we're really excited about. I know you have
everyone
tickets
get
for.
tickets. We
I'm
need to
getting
make an
tickets.
impact.
First major studio-backed all-produced LGBTQ casted film, and we're really excited for Billy Eichner and his
Behind
film.
the scenes, too.
Behind the
Not
scenes.
100%, but mostly.
I love that. Well, the gay romantic comedy Bros is the first such film to be backed by a major studio. I said that. It will not be released in the Middle East, and it's still unclear exactly what markets in the region will be affected, but it's likely to include Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Kuwait, all of which are notorious for censoring movies over when the slightest hint of LGBTQ themes or content, according to Variety, which was the first to report the story. So I don't think it's really going to affect sales figures for Bros, but there is, in our own country, we were talking about earlier, a whole thing where there's a lot of people going on writing bad reviews, and it's a whole thing where people go on there ahead of when they don't like either women-backed films and they try and skew the numbers. And Billy Eichner's above that, and he said, fuck it, I don't want homophobic people to see the film anyway.
So good.
So
Snaps
I
to
love
that.
that. Snaps to that. Also, in news that's affecting, in Nigeria, we have to talk about global news. Transgender Nigerians fear proposals to criminalize cross-dressing.
Oh, wow.
So that just means simply if you want to dress up like a different gender, you will be criminalized. And this is a new law that's going into place. Also, in news, Iran, of course, we know what's going on in Iran towards women. Say the name, Kodi.
Masa Amini. Yes. She was murdered because her hijab was back and her hair was showing, and she was taken into custody, and they killed her. Still hurts for me to say a little bit because that's just so sad to me, and it's so and the women in Iran are fighting back, and they're burning their hijabs, and it's a whole movement right now.
And just before you tell your own,
shaving their heads.
Shaving their heads. Also, there are no, according to Iran, LGBTQ people. Why? Of course there are. But because they will murder you if you are of LGBTQ. And there's a whole nother story. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com of 2 women that are accused of promoting homosexuality that are now being threatened to be murdered right now. It's crazy out there. And why do we talk about these stories? We talk about them so that we're aware of them.
Yes.
We're just tapping into it here. Okay, so Bros isn't going to be played in the Middle East. Fine, we can deal with that. Okay.
I was going to say there are probably LGBT. They said that there are no LGBTQ people in Iran.
Well, no, they say
but that's not true.
No, of course not.
It could probably do some good to the LGBTQ people actually in Iran, and it's unfortunate that it's not playing there, in my opinion.
Listen, they're gays. They'll figure out how to watch it.
Oh, okay, stream it online.
They will stream it. Like, I have faith in our people. It is a sad, sad state of affair around the world. For gay people, for women, for our environment, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. And it's not easy to stomach when you live in America. It's not easy to understand. I don't understand women who are shaving their heads because their hair was shown and killed. Like, I can't even
or just to be gay,
comprehend that
you would not have here we fight for rights. In Iran, your life.
You're fighting for your life.
It's
well,
your
it just
life.
makes certain things in America feel so trivial at times.
Well, it does.
I know that's not the right thing to say or whatever, but
no, that's
like,
why I kind of
we're
wanted
so weirdly. I'm
Caught
showing my latest gay rights by buying a movie ticket.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I could do better.
Some people
I
are
always say
saying
we could do better.
that it's a call to arms in the United States because they're saying that we might be moving towards that type of regime with what's going on in this nation right now because things are going towards
conservatism
but I still,
and the religiousness of this country,
yes.
and that being the pervasive and the prominent thing here.
I hear you 100%. I still dial it back to Billy Porter, and I do not quote him often. It's already happened.
Yeah.
We're here. We're married. We have children.
But they can take.
I get it.
They took away.
I get it.
the abortion rights
I get
so
it.
quickly.
No, that wasn't
and they're
quickly.
talking about
That wasn't quickly.
It was
Certain things were missed that made that able to happen. That could have happened during the Obama administration that didn't. Not by Obama, but by the.
but it's
Congress
happened,
then.
and the thing is, we don't want it to trickle down to marriage equality. You are
Completely-
you are engaged
I
right
will
now.
always be
and
aware of that.
according
I
to
get
Clarence
that.
Thomas, you might not have that right if he brings that up and the rest of the Supreme Court votes on it. Just like Roe versus Wade was overturned, it's not that hard to believe in our own country that marriage could be overturned and you could be truly affected by this.
I have my bros ticket checked. I have 4 major gay organizations that I contribute money to.
Yes.
Check.
protesting.
I talk about being gay all the time. Check. I'm on this podcast. Check. I'm a small business owner with a gay flag in my business in Chelsea. Check. So I'm doing my part, and I don't want to get overwhelmed by the thought of what if.
We do need to shout out in the world on something that is good. Cuba did legalize marriage equality in a historic referendum, and I'm really
Yay,
happy about
that's
that. That's
awesome.
some good news. And lastly, I want to kind of get your point on this. Somebody on Reddit wrote, would you travel to places with a partner, when you guys are both in relationships, where you may need to hide affection or that you are a couple? So the person writes, my partner and I were discussing this earlier today, and I'm curious on others' opinions. My partner's comfortable traveling to places that may be more homophobic and would be okay with us pretending to be friends or doing things not holding hands in public. I said if somewhere was that risky to show simple affection like holding hands and saying boyfriends instead of friend, that I just wouldn't even want to go, because having to think about hiding or muting simple behavior would ruin the holiday for me personally. He said he would love to go someplace with me, even if that meant hiding our relationship, and I disagreed. And it does bring up the point with travel. I remember I went on a cruise several years ago, and the cruise landed in Tanzania, in Africa, and I'll never forget, it was a Mediterranean or Caribbean cruise, and we were in Tanzania, which is adjacent to, it's Africa, but they have huge strict rules against LGBTQ rights. And one of the things they said on the loudspeaker was, please, if you are going, know this, if you're going out with your partner. And we were only there for a few hours, but the ship was positioned in a way where some of the cabins had balconies and were facing out. And some guys chose to have sex while we were at port in front of Tanzania, which obviously got word out to some of the people in Tanzania, and they had a huge thing. I think I would agree with the person. I just wouldn't want to go to a place like this because I don't want to go to certain places. My doormen were telling me recently they're all from a place called Montenegro, and it's near Dubrovnik, and I've been to Dubrovnik, and I was excited to go to this remote town, and the guys were saying, it's cheap, Steve, you should go. Well, I was excited, and they said, you could get an Airbnb, you could go by yourself, and I was excited. I looked it up, cheap, and I was like, I might just go there by myself, until I looked up LGBTQ in Montenegro, and they said it's kind of frowned upon, and really, there's one sort of gay bar there, but none of this touching. You will be frowned upon if you do any of that. And I thought,
Really?
Okay. And I was brought up with this question, and I thought, no, well, it's not worth it for me to go to a place like this. I need to be myself, and I want to experience the world. There's too many other places I could experience in the world that are not going to look down on me or persecute me. I know, Joe, you were saying the same thing, too. You would never go to Dubai, is what you were saying. Yeah. Hand him the mic real quick. Just real quick to say why you wouldn't go to Dubai.
No, I mean, my friend talks about it all the time. She actually lives there and she works there. And she's brown, she's Indian, she's Sikh. But actually, she always tells me that even the people that live there actually frown upon her because she's English speaking. And she's brown.
Yeah.
So, you would think because she was brown that she would kind of have somewhat of a way in.
Yeah.
Oh, not at all. Because she's English speaking, she's British, so she likes to drink, she likes to party. They don't do that.
There you go.
They're very against drinking, they don't party, and it's Dubai. It's rich. And I mean, that's the thing to do there. is to have a good time and enjoy yourself. But
Yeah, it does bring up the question, though, would you guys go to, because some of the comment section said there was a couple that wrote on there, well, my boyfriend and I, longtime boyfriend and I, don't show PDA when we're out and about anyway, so this probably wouldn't be a problem for us. I'm going to go there by myself, potentially, allegedly, but even though I'm not going to do that, just knowing that that's in the ethos, I don't think I would be. Would
Yeah,
you?
you're trying to have sex in the alley. I know.
Yeah. And then there's that. Yeah.
No, we wouldn't do that.
The answer is no.
Right, the answer is just no. However, the only thing I'll say about that,
Yeah.
I mean, Peter and I show up in all black, and no matter whether we hold hands or not, we make a statement. I want to be comfortable in my own skin wherever we are. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to. However, if it was something that I really wanted to see, like if going horseback riding in Jamaica was a really major thing for me to do in my life, then I might just say, hey, we're going to go do this for a week. It's about Jamaican horseback riding. It's not about some romantic thing. So let's be jocks about it. Yay, another shout out for bros. And and just go and experience the experience and leave. You know what I mean? That's the only way I could see myself adjusting my behavior to do something like climbing Mount Fuji. I don't know. Is that a mountain? I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I love
I'm
hiking,
not a big
so
I'm not a big hiker.
I'm a hiker.
So if there was some place to go hiking that
Yeah.
I wanted to see the top of something and it was really anti-gay, I don't think I'd be worried about holding Peter's hand.
Yeah,
to
right.
begin with. It would be a
So,
destination.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would let.
If there was something that I really
wouldn't
wanted to
say
do
no.
like that, I think I could just go there and
You
do
could
that.
grin and bear it?
The reason I brought up Montenegro, though, was it would be a place where my doormen were saying, no, go because you, Steve, you love the beach and this and that. Yeah, but it's holiday, it's lying out, it's all this fun stuff. If they're anti or frowned upon, I'm not going to feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
And it's not climbing up Mount Fuji or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
where-
relaxing.
It's
There's nothing relaxing
no.
about being self-conscious.
No.
Ever.
But I will say this. I don't think the gays on the cruise should have been fucking in the balcony.
See, that's
Tantalized-
where-
when they've been warned. I don't think, no, it's a little bit of an FU. And
It
I
is,
think
and I
to-
think
we're
that's amazing.
losing
It
our
could have-
rights all over the world.
But
You
it
do
could
what you
have
do.
higher repercussions than we could anticipate. In other words, it could have global ramifications, I think.
I think it is amazing. I think it was a big
FU.
FU
It was,
to
but
Tanzania.
I think don't do that.
And
Just don't go there then.
I don't know
you
if
don't
I
want
could do
to.
it, but I think that it's a statement, and I think that it's
I
something.
don't know
that
how much of a statement it is.
it is.
It's just sort of
because it got
they
their
could go to
it
jail,
got their attention.
But you don't realize when you are in foreign countries like that, they can arrest you. You are on their
You're in
territory.
the water. No,
you're in
so
the
we're
water.
talking.
I'm in.
I don't know. We're getting a no over there. Our
We need a
legal
lawyer.
analyst.
Where is the
Our legal
If
analyst.
Joe is our legal analyst, we have problems.
We are all going to jail.
Well, I don't know. We'll look. Audience, if you know, you could clear this up for us and write into
Ooh, that's a
text
good
message.
comment.
Yeah.
I want to read that comment
Yeah.
section.
Because we clearly do not know.
We don't know.
No.
I don't
But
know.
Nice to it when you don't know.
I'm-
you don't
Finish
know.
your thought, Kodi.
I'm with the whole. It's in the water, so it's international waters, and it's not Tanzanian property. So
Yeah, thank you. You're in port.
okay,
Right.
But do you know
Yes,
that?
thank you, Joe.
But
Right.
are you a lawyer, Joseph?
No, but
No,
that's,
you are
those-
not.
I'm your lawyer.
Okay. I think he's onto something. We're going to ask our audience, and we got to move on to our final topic here. We're kind of going back to social media, and I really have been wanting to do this story for a long time. And they write on this Reddit thread, do any of you follow hot guys on Insta but feel conflicted? I follow a lot of hot bear guys on Instagram, and I like seeing their racy photos. However, I feel like I would never be able to get most of these guys as a black guy. Very few of them actually follow me back. I get jealous of how much attention they get and how much of them could easily get hot guys to like them. I can't even get people to respond to me on Scruff, but I bet they get tons of messages anyway. I've tried to slide into some of the guys' DMs, and I never get a response, and then I feel silly. I continue to follow these guys because I feel my Instagram experience would be boring without following them. It's kind of an interesting take on race. However, if we just also pulled it back to, well, first of all, I'll just speak for myself. I don't scroll that much through it because I know I don't want FOMO or any of those things. So I typically post a lot and I just don't scroll that much. I follow you guys and I look at your stories.
Okay.
But I just don't because I don't want to get distracted too much. And I don't do that. But what are your thoughts on it? And then I'll tell.
That's so interesting that you don't do that.
I don't.
That's a choice.
Yeah. I've never been. Well, I talk so much. I'm just not into the phone that much. I think
Well, there is a whole world there.
I know, and I'm trying to. And when we're into it with the show, I do my part, but yeah, on my free time, I don't. But
that's cool. I'm not looking for anything. So I think if you're looking for stuff, you have a different vision, like the person that you just talked about.
Yeah.
He's looking for something. When I go into Instagram and even when I go on Scruff, it's to say hi to friends or see who's in town, or I really like their events scroll. Sometimes there's things on there.
Cool.
It's like HX.
Yeah.
You know, the back of HX or Next or
that's
back
a
in the
local
day.
paper that
it used to be. It used to be a local paper.
Just,
there.
you gotta.
Well, the only point I wanted to make is he said, I'm sure their mailboxes are full or whatever. I would
He made
never
an
assume.
assumption.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I would just, even when I did have an agenda on those things, I always tried not to make an assumption because everyone's mailbox is filled with the same crap. Maybe you're popular.
He
it doesn't
assumed that
matter.
people wouldn't
Yeah,
respond
let it
back
go.
to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
And then-
will. They will. The
and-
right person will, and that's all that matters.
Amen. I do follow a lot of hot guys on Instagram, but I use it as motivation for my own body positivity and my fitness journey because I don't really follow it to go out and get something, just like Lincoln said. I use it for what is.
But you see
positive
how
for
it could be
me.
a rabbit hole for
It
some
can
people
be,
where
and
you
I
could compare your body to others. We talked about off audio, body dysmorphia, and we all admitted that we kind of have that. And this, if you follow and scroll to like what the guy is saying, some of these hot guys, it could seem like, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. I don't have pecs like that. I don't have this.
Yeah.
And it
And
can be
also-
a rabbit hole.
But being a black man in America, you are seen as less desirable. It's just a fact.
So
out
that's
there.
where you agree
That's
with.
where I can see his point as far as all of this is concerned.
Never understood that.
Well, I mean,
that's-
but that's America. I
Yeah.
don't understand it either.
We were saying how everyone's in their own world at the gym now. Well,
Yeah.
back in the day, you could check out someone at the gym, think they're sexy, watch what workout they're doing,
And
and
that's
then
what I do.
copy it.
Yeah.
So you're almost doing that on Instagram without the benefit of seeing what their workouts are.
I follow a lot of fitness influencers.
And do you watch
Right.
their workout?
I like
get
those.
their workouts exactly. Yeah.
And do you watch their workout and then do it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of videos saved in my phone actually from fitness
Well,
influencers.
so I think
as far
what-
as-
Oh, that's cool.
So you know what's cool about what you're saying is with social media, you can change the narrative on what your experience is with it. I've done the same thing too. The reason why I started off the conversation with I don't scroll through it so much is because I found myself like this person comparing myself, wishing I had their legs or their whatever body part it was, and knowing that I didn't, in my mind, measure up. And I know that's crazy talk. Maybe I didn't really measure up. That's fine. The point is I had to change the narrative and my relationship to social media. Now, when I do go on there periodically, I'll follow guys that have something positive to share about physical fitness.
Yes.
That I take something, whether I want to do their workout or it's just motivating me. It's a different conversation in my head, this place that has been convoluted with comparison and jealousy and those horrible things that can plague body dysmorphia. I had to change the narrative on my relationship with social media. So when I do go on there, it's a little healthier when I
Exactly.
scroll through.
I feel like if I went on Instagram to look for somebody, then it would. When I was on Grindr, I wouldn't actually actively go out and hit up people. I would wait for them to message me first, and then. But it's been ingrained in me as a black man in America that nobody would find me attractive.
Did you reach out to Joe, or did Joe reach
Joe
out
hit
to
on me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
You know what it is.
Did you woof at him or something first?
No, I did not woof at him.
Did you like him.
Joe, can we get
I
a
love
concurrence
Joe.
on the
Did you
story?
look at him and he went into previously looked at?
No, I didn't.
We didn't even share nudes.
You didn't even share nudes?
Nudes?
Before we went on our first date. We chatted for about 4 months before we actually had our
But
first
I've met
date.
Joe, and he's a
Ooh.
force, so I could see where
He was like, "What's
he
up?"
knew what he wanted.
Was
He
that
knew what
the
he
first thing he
wanted.
said
I
to
have
you?
no idea. I
Was
wish I
it
could
what's
go back.
with a Z?
No, he would never.
I'm
do
just
that.
checking.
No, that he would get blocked for that.
So much fun, you guys.
Oh,
Thank you
yes.
so much for playing along. Thank you for class earlier.
Oh, thank you for coming.
You
I
can
love
always
having you there.
follow my co-host. You can follow Lincoln at Mad Lincoln, as well as Protein Bakery.
Yep.
Anything new going on at the Protein Bakery?
Our pumpkins just
Is
arrived.
it
They're
pumpkin
right behind
season?
you. Protein and pumpkin and perfection all in a
Oh,
little wrapper.
Treats are here.
It's like eating the inside of a pumpkin pie
Oh,
without
makes-
the crust and all the protein.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite pies. I love all pies.
You have to try the blondie. It's really good.
Okay.
At Protein Bakery.
wait.
Follow Kodi Maurice Doggette. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching, or Mr. Maurice for those thirst traps that he was talking about.
Hot guy on Insta.
And for crying out loud, follow us at TAGSPodcast, at TAGSPodcast. Thanks for listening. We'll be back for more. In the meantime, continue having hot
Hot
Gay
sex in the windows of cruise ships.